Chapter 3 of Poppy Playtime just got some massive news with hints of a brand new trailer, some real official screenshots of the game, a look into a new character, and so much more. This is a massive video. Like the video if you're hyped for Chapter 3, but let's just get into it. So as you guys probably already know, Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 seems like it's going to come out extremely soon. I'm talking like within the next few weeks, with new teasers and whatnot being shown to us already. However, you may remember that in previous theory videos, we've theorized that on July 15th, here in a day or so, something massive was going to happen from maybe a Chapter 3 ARG, which they've teased in the past, or a trailer or something like that. And this all seems to finally be coming true, as a day or so ago, I made a tweet talking about how hyped I was to get some Chapter 3 news soon, where the developers actually responded with an interested emoji, following which people would then reply asking if something new was coming on the horizon, which the developers also replied with the same exact reaction, hinting that something big could be coming in the next couple days. And going over to the Poppy Playtime Discord server, the developers also began to tease something new coming soon, as somebody was making a joke about getting some Poppy Playtime news in the server, to which out of nowhere the developers would respond saying, "Oh, don't you worry, something is coming," even going on and saying that this something in question was as amazing or more than an ARG, which is very interesting because if you didn't know, we've been expecting a brand new Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 ARG to be releasing within the next week or so. However, whatever they've been teasing here through the next couple days seems to be something completely new and is something absolutely massive, judged by the developers literally telling us to be ready for the server to explode. Now, what is this thing in question, you may ask? Well, to me, if it's not the ARG and it's still Chapter 3 related, this most likely seems like a tease that a Chapter 3 trailer or new teaser is about to happen. Just because, judged by all the Chapter 3 teasers we've been given before and the new secret screenshots we talk about later in this video, it really couldn't be anything else but the long-awaited trailer, or at least a new teaser in my opinion. We also did get ourselves an update on the upcoming ARG though, as we've talked about for a while now too, as the developers made another tease saying this server is about to get really active in the coming weeks, referencing the ARG, to which somebody asked the devs which will be harder, the Chapter 3 ARG or the Project Playtime ARG we did last November, with them responding that this one you won't have to be as tech savvy for, which is great news in my opinion, because you might not be familiar, but in the original Project Playtime ARG we had to use spectrograms, emails, ciphers, and so many more things I didn't even know existed, so I'm actually really excited. In terms of Chapter 3's progress, the developers also gave us a ton of news there, with them saying earlier today that there's something I'm working on right now that I want to show super bad, but literally any part of the image I show would be a super huge Chapter 3 spoiler, so you'll just have to wait. Possibly being something revealing the Chapter 3 character or the ending or something like that. Unfortunately, they never told us, but they also talk more about the game's horror. And when somebody asked how scary the new chapter is, with them simply saying, "It's hard to say because horror is kind of subjective," before saying playtesting actually made them jump a bit. We also got ourselves a hint into one of the Chapter 3 new characters, with the devs saying one of the Chapter 3 characters took months upon months to make, with 100+ iterations, which gives us a pretty good insight into just how complex and in-depth these characters are going to be, especially since they said their biggest struggle creating the characters was trying to balance a design between being cute and creepy at the same time. And something I also found interesting is that they told us that the third chapter is actually going to be even longer than Chapter 2, which, while it's something you guys might have expected, they've actually never confirmed this before, and it really makes me wonder how long this new chapter is going to be, since Chapter 2 itself already takes a couple hours on its own in your first playthrough. But while all these mini progress updates are cool and all, the developers would also drop an absolute bombshell today, when out of nowhere in their Discord chat, they gave us 5 brand new screenshots of Chapter 3, some of which actually containing what I believe is the new Chapter 3 main antagonist. So the first Chapter 3 official screenshot we were given here shows what appears to be some sort of wallpaper, and while this area is definitely completely new and has a very similar appearance to what we saw in Elliot Ludwig's office, with the somewhat fancy interior suggesting that this could be in somebody else's office. And also, while it's impossible to make out what's being said, we can see what appears to be writing on the top left corner with an A here and a bunch of other stuff, plus also a little piece of paper on the wall that also cuts off before you can see what it says. The second screenshot we were given here is a little bit more ambiguous, because looking at it, it appears to be some sort of railing or ceiling. It's extremely difficult to tell. However, the most important part of this image is this random silhouette here, which, while still super ambiguous, it appears like it could be some sort of creature lurking in the shadows, or maybe like a grab pack hand. But to be honest, it's basically impossible to tell in this state, although maybe it's just me, but I swear it looks like a chicken. The third and also extremely interesting screenshot here shows us a little door that opens up into the darkness outside. And this door in question, going back to the first screenshot, screenshot looks like the exit to this room we saw here, judged by the same wallpaper pattern. And while we don't get to see too much with this screenshot, this is the second time they've teased this new weird room, which to me makes it seem like it could be really important to the new chapter, whatever it is, but it is just too vague for now. In fact, actually make it 3 times, because the 4th new screenshot once again is a photo of the wallpaper in this new room, where again we could see a photo hanging on the side, but nothing really else, just emphasizing even more that whatever this room is, it's going to be really important. However, by far the biggest screenshot we were given was the very last one, where out of absolutely nowhere, the devs sent an eye emoji and dropped this brand new photo of what appears to be some type of fur. Now, looking at this image, I've seen a lot of theories about what this could be for. The first one is that this could be some sort of red character, or maybe even the return of Boxy Boo, since it appears to be some red fur. However, the only problem with this theory is that if you look closely, this fur isn't actually red, but rather it's just stained in blood. Which brings me to the second theory, suggesting that rather this new image could be for a new chapter 3 main antagonist, since while the lighting is weird, the character appears like they could be white or something in that vein, which to me makes a lot of sense, especially if these screenshots are meant to be teasing the chapter 3 official trailer, which I think they are. However, the most interesting theory I saw is that what if instead this is actually Huggy Wuggy? Because sure, it seems crazy to say out loud, however, we see the bright red bloody fur seemingly dripping off of this character as if they were injured or something like that, which very specifically matches up with what we saw in chapter 1, where we see Huggy fall all the way down the catwalks with him hitting his head on the way. So if he were to actually survive this, which we've theorized plenty of times that he did, to me, this bloody silhouette could potentially be Huggy making his long-awaited return, just instead in a brand new form, kind of like what we see in games like Security Breach, which would make a lot of sense. But to be honest, assuming it is for the chapter 3 trailer, which it probably is, this is most likely the new main antagonist, since it looks like a render similar to the Poppy and Mommy Longlegs OST renders. So as much as I wish it's Huggy's return, it seems like it's a new character, which if true looks phenomenal. However, taking all of this stuff in, this is an absolute ton of news. But to tie it all together, it seems like overall we're going to be getting 2 brand new things in the next few days. One being the start of the chapter 3 ARG, which is still happening as the developers confirmed, and this other mystery thing they've been teasing at that I believe is the chapter 3 official trailer, just because it realistically can't be anything else. So we have these 2 new things coming in the next couple days, but when are they both going to release? Well, funny enough, this actually lines up perfectly with other theories I've made on this channel, where as we know in Project Playtime there is a poster in-game teasing something happening on July 15th, while in the original ARG teaser the time on the clock says 7:19, possibly referencing the date July 19th. So I don't want to make too many assumptions, but all I'm going to say is that we have 2 big things coming extremely soon confirmed by the developers, and we also have these 2 brand new random dates just a few days apart from each other with still no explanation. So if I had to predict, I think honestly that on July 15th we are probably going to get this brand new trailer, and then say on July 19th we could get the brand new ARG related to the teaser. I mean, to me it seems like as we get more and more news, all of the pieces keep lining up better and better, especially as chapter 3's release just seems to be getting closer. But as more screenshots come out and July 15th is just a day away, make sure to subscribe to see what happens on that day, and check out this video on the ARG while you wait, and peace out, guys.